Good day, fish tankers. This little 12-inch 30 centimeter nano cube of mine has been going on for well over a year and everything is thriving, and I hate to break down aquariums. I like to put them up for the long term, but as you can see, I've made this tank myself. Besides the fact that the joints are ugly with poor workmanship of mine, there's a little bit of give in those joints, and a leak even in a nano tank on your desk is not a joke. So I'm going to have to replace the actual tank, and for that I'm going to have to do a total makeover. I've been dreading that job, but I found a new tank at a good price with the same footprint but 35 centimeters 2 inches higher from bottom to top. And here is that tank, 30 by 30 by 35 centimeters. If you want to see the process, stick around. Okay, I've mentioned that the new tank is 5 centimeters higher, so it is 14 inches instead of 12 inches. And the thing is, with 30 centimeters high, 12 inches, that 3-inch deep substrate, you know, it eats a little bit into your water column space, and your eyes adjust quickly, but it does feel disproportional. So there's the new tank being leak tested. So for the tanks, deep substrate tanks, try and make the height a bit more. And I've got some new sand. This is about 0.5 millimeters, so it's finer than the previous ones I've used. And I must say, this Aqua brand is hardly dirty at all, but I did wash as a precaution, but it didn't need more than a quick rinse. You could have actually done without the washing. And you know the soil base by now, 2 parts peat, 1 part organic compost, 1 part organic potting soil, a splash of bone meal and a bit of Epsom salts, and then I add water, just enough to make a thick mud. And there you can see we have a finished product, 3 inches, 7.5 centimeters, give or take in total, with the swirl with the sand on top of it. I put in the hardscape spider wood with some pebbles just to break the lines. And I've got done here what I can do in this tank for now. So we don't waste time. Now we've got to go and break down the old tank. Now first I'm removing the hardscape with the epiphytes attached. Guys, please smash that like button. Greatly appreciated as always. And now I've got to start removing these plants, because catching the fish among this jungle is damn near impossible. So I'm going to start pulling out these plants, and they are very much settled in. But before I do that, I'm going to switch off the filters, and very important, I'm going to take out this little nano power filter and the little sponge filter. But I'm going to put them in some of this old tank water. So why am I doing that? You all know the answer by now. It's to preserve a beneficial aerobic bacteria. I'm not going to clean the filters, going to keep them just like that, because this will prevent new tank syndrome from happening in the new tank. I'm transferring those filters with their beneficial bacteria straight into the new setup. And that will be enough to get us through, even though we're going to remove all the rest. Now you can see there, the plants are really rooted in. I did not calculate for that, but I don't know a solution either. And that's a drawback of a dirted tank. You know, if your plants are settled, removing them causes a heck of a mess, like you see there. But I want to save these crypts if I can. Off I go. And I'm trying to catch a fish as I go. I think I see the Beta, the Siamese fighter. I'm going to try and catch the little fellow, herd him into the net, since he is up front here. There, come on little guy, let's go. It's going to be better in a few seconds, not a few seconds, probably a few hours. But anyway, there you go. So I'm going to try and catch them out bit by bit like that. Guys, please leave me a comment if you've ever broken down a dirted tank or moved it when you moved house. Is there a better way to do this? Because this is quite hard, and I picked one of the hottest days, or in the 30 degrees Celsius, well into that. So I'm sweating like a pig. But there we're getting the plants out one by one, and every time I see a fish, I netted them out. I was afraid I might lose a fish, but luckily I got them all out through this muddy mess. So I'm going to start with the epiphytes. Luckily they move well from tank to tank and setup to setup, and that's the nice thing about spiderwood. I was going to glue, but I managed to just wedge everything. And then have a spray bottle handy so you can spray them off so that they don't dry off. Plants can get dry very quickly. Well, there we go, that's the finished product. It goes without saying that I put some water conditioner in. There you go, sorry little fella, the betta just jumped out of the net, but luckily the water was underneath him to catch him. So the water conditioner is in, so that neutralizes any chlorine or chloramine. And there's the Ember Tetras and Otto number 1. Followed by Otto number 2, where they are in their new home. And here the tank is after a few days. You can see it's got some tannins from the spiderwood. But the other sad thing is, as one would expect, all the crypts completely melted. So I did a big water change and I just siphoned off the melted crypts. You could wait for something to regrow, but I thought, nah, I'm just going to go out and buy new crypts that have been grown submerged. And that's the finished product now. So guys, tell me what you think. Is it an improvement? Is it the same? I've kind of missed the old tank, but in time this will grow in the same way, and the fish and everything seems quite happy. So that's what the Nano Cube looks like now, and it's got a brand new tank. Look at how much better those seams are, and it just gives me a bit of peace of mind. Well, that's it from me, guys. Please remember to subscribe. Thank you to everybody who did, and until I see you guys again, keep taking good care of those domestic denizens of the deep.